My name is Javon, and I have been doing these goal setting tactics for the last 6 months, and they completely changed how I conduct my everyday life. And it may work for you. There's 2 ways to set goals, and there's 3 daily habits I added to my life, and here's how it could help yours. The first one is a shorter focus on prioritizing and kind of categorizing your goals into different sections over 12 weeks. This comes straight from the book called 12-Week Work Year, and it kind of takes away from setting goals for a long period of time to focus on one individual thing in a short period of time. He had said one of the biggest things holding you back is execution and consistency. What I learned from myself is over the last 3-4 years before I tried this tactic, I couldn't stay consistent with doing anything. And what this does, it minimizes what you have to do so you can focus on one thing. Here's how you can do that. The first step is creating a vision for yourself. What would you like to get done in the next 12 weeks? So when you make your goals for 12 weeks instead of 1 year, you prioritize one thing, one singular focus instead of doing many things. One of the things I like to bring up is Parkinson's Law. I kind of learned about it a little bit yesterday because someone had mentioned it in the video. And here's what it is. The work expands based off the time that it has to be done. So the more time you give yourself, the less likely you're supposed to work and be productive. So the best way to get something done is by shorten the amount of time that you have in order to focus on one thing. Because if you give yourself a year, it'll take you a year. If you give yourself 10 years, it will take you 10 years. That's one of the main points of doing stuff in 12 weeks is if you give yourself 12 weeks, that's how long it will take you. Second step is I created an idea of a main source of goal that I wanted to achieve over the next 12 weeks. So first step, create a vision. Second step, what's the main focus of these next 12 weeks? I worked backwards. What does those tasks look like every week to get me to my goal? This is probably the most important thing is I did it with my best friend. And since I had someone to keep me accountable, we had check-ins every Monday because they're both off of our part-time jobs on Monday. And we checked in on how we're doing. Are we getting to where we want to be? Are we getting closer? First thing, vision. First thing I did was I created a vision. Second was I created a main goal that I want to achieve over the next 12 weeks. Third, I broke that down into week-by-week basis on what I need accomplished. Fourth thing is I created daily tasks on what did that look like to get me towards those goals. 5, I had an accountability partner who kept me in check every time I did something. And 6, we kind of did a reward system where if you hit your goals every week, you'd get something in return, whatever it may be, maybe $20, whatever, just some type of daily award system so you can feel like this is actually working. You have to have some type of emotional connection to it so you can trick your brain into thinking that the work you're doing is worth it, because your brain will always choose the more comfortable route because we think in survival mode. But the moment your brain understands that there is some type of reward to the stuff that you're doing, it will continuously become the normal for you. So those are 5 things I did for that goal setting tactic. Now the next goal setting tactic I'd like to talk about that I tried before this but didn't really work out for me because I am someone that can procrastinate if given the opportunity. Smart goal setting system. So I kind of did this one a little bit before. It's called SMART goals. This is more of a longer period of time. This is for a whole year. So what is a SMART goal setting system? It is specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound. I'll break down all five of those steps on how I think they should be described. First step that I took was be specific, and this was kind of the same thing. It was I want to be a better creator was what I said, but then I got specific. Be a better creator how? On motivational videos, and I want to put out more motivational videos a week, right? Go from I want to be a better reader to I'm going to read 15 more books. Second step, measurable. Ensure your goals can be quantified. I want to save money. I want to save $1,000 over the next 6 months. The third one is attainable. Make sure the goals that you're setting is in reach. It's good to actually try to, strive for the stars or do this, do that. I could say I want to make $1 million in the next 6 months. Probably impossible, but probably anything is possible, but probably not probable. So I can make it attainable. Maybe I make $500 over the next 6 months, $700 over the next 8 months, whatever it may be. But make sure it's obtainable and something that you can actually do and actually grasp. Set eager goals, but make sure there's something that is actually reachable and understandable. And this is probably one of the most important ones that I thought, but I kind of overlooked it a little bit because I didn't undersee the benefit in it. But make sure your dreams are relevant. If your dream is to become the best hairdresser or the best barber, your goal shouldn't be about playing the guitar. right? Because that is not relevant to what you're trying to do and will only hold you back. And time bound. So this one, so if you see that in the 12-week goal setting system and the SMART goal setting system, what I learned was the most important factor in both is time. Here's 3 habits I incorporated in my life that kind of made a significant impact. So the first habit I introduced every day was reading. Reading was an important thing that I always procrastinated, but I think Bill Gates has said a quote that kind of stuck with me. I've never met a millionaire who doesn't read. And I think one of his biggest things was he reads maybe 6 to 4 hours every day, even if it's an article, newspaper, or a book, or whatever it may be. He says that's kind of separated him apart because he created a filter in his head on the information he perceives to know if it's worth keeping. And I kind of just resided with that to know that reading is important. So second one, the second thing that I started to do a little bit more that kind of helped a little more, I try to go volunteer once a month. So I went to the food bank last month, and I'm trying to go to Gigi's Playhouse with kids with autism. So the reason I think volunteering is so important is because it gives you a different aspect on life. And when you volunteer with people that may be different from you in a sense, it gives you a lot more gratitude on stuff you have, and it makes you gain a lot more respect for different people. I think volunteer is so good because when you do good things, usually you will get returned with good things, and I think it's just fulfilling and makes me grateful to be in a position where I can just be able to go walk to somewhere or use my 2 hands and give back to somebody else who's not in a similar situation as I am. So volunteering, maybe have a heavy, full heart, and I think volunteering is great, and I think everybody should find a cause that you could make an impact in a small way that could change the world, and you could change somebody's lives. Like I packed maybe 50 lunches of pepperonis, and there's a kid somewhere across the world eating pepperonis that I packed, and that kind of makes me full. And with a better attitude, you can change your life, and volunteering is a good way to do that. And number 3, this was maybe the biggest one. I challenged myself to step outside my comfort zone as much as possible, and that means I'm a real estate agent. In my line of work, cold calling is something that I had to learn to do, and I've really gotten good at it. So stepping outside my comfort zone, doing things that I wouldn't normally do, helped me grow as a person because I learned that there's different things I like to do. The biggest thing is step outside your comfort zone. Some of the things that work for me may be able to work for you. So my advice to you is try it. Again, my name is Jay Tyron Avant, or I go by Jay, and I am on a journey of learning how to better myself, and I'll make videos about doing that stuff that works for me. And my offer to you is that you may be able to improve doing it, and I know I'm improving every day while I'm doing it. So I invite you along to kind of jump on the train and see what we can do together. And with that being said, I need you to do 3 things for me. Like, comment, and subscribe. Or one of the 3, subscribe more than anything, because with this, my promise to you is that I'm going to grow this channel into something that is memorable, respectable, and honorable. And with that being said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace and love, everybody.